Hey, my lovely, lovely, wonderful, beautiful people. A pleasant evening to everybody. Now, beautiful people, I see Ableboss, him definitely is the man for the R as it relates to Instagram and this beating of people. He's good at those little gimmicks things, of whom he suspects have not given aid to the, in towards the people who have been disenfranchised, decimated, because of Hurricane Melissa. But one of the things, maybe some people may deserve it. I remember he did it with Steph London, and she said, "Boy, we deserve the beating," or something of the sort. And shortly after, she contributed to, the relief program, basically. But where I'm going to disagree with Ableboss is this: you have many of us who will give in silence. We give quietly. I understand, the Bible says, don't let your right hand know what your left hand does. Because what if you do that, you would have already been paid. So there is no reward for you to get. You have already rewarded. You have already been rewarded because you make a whole heap of people see. But for those who give in secret, God will reward you openly. I understand when you are doing charity work and people give you their things, and they want accountability and they want transparency. So people are kind of forced to show what they're doing. They're forced because of situations like these. And they don't want anybody to hold them arm to say that, "Oh, you have stolen my things, you have not given it to people." It's as though they can't even trust them to say, "I've actually given it out without you seeing." You know what I mean? It's that they have to show it and so forth. Too, I guess people would want to see it actually being handed out. Maybe there is joy for them. It's not just about a showmanship, but maybe there is joy for them to see that the goods being handed out, and maybe their specific good, is handed out to the people. Like, maybe that is also a part of it. So let us be fair in our thinking. The reality is, though, Ableboss, there are some people who actually may have given that you beat, and think there, and you think that they haven't given. I saw where you did one with the Prime Minister, for example, and I smiled to myself because I remember he was giving out some bags, and they were so big that other people were saying in the background. I heard when they said, "So are we going to get a bag as big as that?" And then, the only other person that I saw giving big bags similar to that or close to that was Spice and Vibes Cartel. I'm not saying others have not. And I think Andre Stevens. His bag was big. I mean, like, he had a clear bag, so you could see the items, and they were beefed up. And I was saying, wow, you make you feel like you said, "Boy, what if I should stretch out for one of those bags myself?" The way how it looks hefty, you know what I mean? Like him go supermarket shopping. And this was before you saw a lot of the entertainers, So I said to myself, is it that he has on goggles? I mean, you use goggles in water. So I'm using hyperbole. I'm exaggerating and using that item to say that he has on something that belongs in the water, but on land, that covers his eyes because he's obviously not seeing, I saw where he did that even worse with Amari. Amari, I don't want to describe her in certain ways. Funny enough, as much as people may think she's mental and off, and so maybe there's some defect. Maybe perhaps there is some defect. If you listen keenly and closely to when she speaks, sometimes there's a lot of sense and information that comes from this woman. You understand? And sometimes people play the fool to catch the wise. There's a script when David never wanted to be killed by King, don't remember his name. He had to pretend like he was mad, like he was an insane person, in order for his life to be spared. God could have spared his life without him doing that. But God wants us to live he says, be wise as a serpent. You live in a real world. You have to use your senses and live. You can't just, yes, you have to depend on God, but he wants you to operate with a sensibility while you're here on the earth. And don't act like, like it's everything you're just on a crutch situation. Yes, David had to act insane. So that in order for the man not to kill him. There's the man said, "But I'm going to say, Lord, a madman this, so I'm not trouble him. Mad as shad." You understand? And I saw him beating her, and I remember seeing her on a live, actually talking to a few people, saying, "All right, I'm going to go to Jamaica. I have to go to Jamaica, and I'm trying to garner up some things to carry with me. So I thought that was an unfair, because him do the like him know how to do the thing where the beating it's just on rapid. It's just incessant. It's just like it's a 75 years later, 100 years later, something of the sort. And I said that was unfair. That was unfair, because I watched her a little bit of her live. Like I was scrolling through and I saw her and I said, let me hear. I haven't seen her in a bit. Let me hear what she's saying. And she really was saying, I weep for my country, and no maddy thing. You know, she said, I have some clothes and I have some this, they want tarpaulin. And she said, all right, I'm trying to see if I can arrange something. I have to make, have to give my contribution to my people. But so sometimes people are planning and they're going to execute it. You can't make an assumption that they're not doing anything. You know what I mean? And you beat her like she not even made any plan whatsoever. So I'm saying to you that you have to do your research. I saw where Sian Lee pull over and said there are some people that you put on the list that that they have all foundation, that they're giving him their saying, but they mean, I know that's a play thing. I know they're doing a play and all of that. But, they end up beating him back to say that some people that you put on the list as getting beatings, they have actually contributed. Some people are just not show men or show women. They're not going to come on the media. You understand? They're like me. Some of us are not going to do it. We're just not going to do it. We would have to be given people's things, and maybe in because of that and for accountability purposes, we have to do it. I really don't like it. I can understand. I remember one person said they don't mind people taking pictures and selfies because they can show that they experienced the hurricane in a real way and they saw the decadence. Fine. I understand what they're saying. Keep those pictures for posterity and for memory to show their grandkids. I was there at that time. But I think in some cases, it's a little bit of a showmanship. People like to see people, more show them say, me are the boss and me can give and me can this and me can that. Remember, you've already been rewarded. You've already been rewarded. You understand me? Because sometimes we need not to care about what people, if they want to think that you're mean, let them think it. You can't stop it. If they want to think that you're stingy, let them think it. If they want to think that you have not given, so be it, think it. You thinking it and it being a reality are fundamentally two different things. They're on two different ends of the spectrum. A lot of people don't know that Denzel Washington is an avid giver. And you don't see them promulgating that a lot. He gives a lot. And that is why God has allowed him. You know how you know that these people are blessed? Look at what happens for them. God has allowed him. He's the only actor that I've seen this happen for. I'm not saying it has not happened for any that I have seen. Every year he gets a big screen movie. Every single solitary year for about 30 odd years. All of them top movies them. Because I have him as the best actor ever. Between him and Anthony Hopkins. Even Al Pacino, long time bad actor. You know what I mean? But, in terms of a certain type of versatility. Denzel and Anthony Hopkins. Al Pacino them bad and all of them, and Morgan Freeman and you name them. Pierce Brosnan, Sean Connery, name them. But I'm simply saying to you that there are people who give and they give quietly. Denzel has gotten a big screen. God just as him give say come like it just come right back. Double, triple, fipple, sixple, sevenple, eightple, nineple, tenple. All of them. So sometimes we have to be careful how we are doing that. Not everybody will show. Somebody like me, I won't. You won't know. You just have to assume that I give or not. And it doesn't matter to me if you think that way. It really doesn't. Because, we have to be careful how we bully people into doing things. Sometimes they're waiting. Sometimes the people that you may think even have it, though, they don't have it right away. They're waiting on some funds so that they can do it. Even the big stars that you may see. You understand me? Because maybe they've given to something else and they're kind of short. They're not liquid, meaning they don't have cash right away. So they're waiting on a show that they can do, and then they can come and say, all right, I'm going to give to this cause now. But it's kind of unfair. I think sometimes he may not have done his research. He just goes by what he sees. The ones that he sees publicly doing it. And that is, you see, and those are the things you force people to have to always show when they're not that way. That's unfair. You have to be careful. But, So you get back yours, although it's a play. Guys, you know what to do with TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe. Give me one of those lions.